Good evening, friends. Happy Sunday Fun Day. It's RJ here with another episode of Sips and Chill, Sips and Chill, Sips and Chill, Sips and Chill with RJ. Sips and Chill. Hi. All right. So, I hope everyone is having an amazing day. If you're keeping up with me, I am keeping myself together as best as I can. I will not lie to you guys. Life has been rough, and we are literally only on day 12 of the new year. So I'm keeping myself together as much as possible. I wanted to do something fun, and I also haven't known exactly what to do recently in my channel. I'm like, do I want to do another book review? Do I want to do another movie review? Do I want to tell you guys about life or tell you like warning or something, like warnings from people or anything? And I honestly, I don't know what, like, so then I just came up. I was like, last night or the night before, I was like, Dean, let's do a Q&A. Why not do a Q&A? So, I'm doing a Q&A tonight. And I have some really, like, some real McCoys. All of you, if you are watching this, I wrote down every question that someone asked me, and I love you guys for it. If you are watching, you guys are the real McCoys, because there were people who looked and didn't even say nothing, like, they just passed by me, and I'm like, but it's fine. It's fine. Some people I know, a lot of them say, one friend was like, I was too shy to say anything. I'm not sure, but it's cool, and it's fine. It's completely fine. I hope you guys are warm wherever you are. Let's say our prayers for Los Angeles, California, from these fires and all these people who lost their homes. I am like, it breaks my heart, and I'm so sorry. It's not cool. It's not cool. Moreover, let's get to the questions.
Questions.
Y'all guys like my new spread? Will this be a new occurrence? I don't know. I know I could do it tonight though. So first question. What was your dream job as a child? What would you consider doing it now that you're an adult? My dream job as a child, little RJ, wanted to be an artist, like a painter. I wanted to paint beautiful pictures, and be happy and famous for it. That would have been fun. Would I consider doing it now? Yeah, I'm kind of an artist now, but I'm a different type of artist. I'm not really a painter or anything. Sadly, it's never been like a niche. I do paint pictures. I do love going to places like Sips and Strokes and Painting with a Twist. Anytime we get to do those, I love doing those. I think they got rid of the Painting with the Twist that was in town, but there are other places that you get to like paint and go to, especially in Tallahassee. We have places on Railroad Square, so it's nice to always do those. Sadly, yeah, I wouldn't mind, especially if it was something that made me happy. I definitely am a firm believer on doing things to make you happy. In a world where like coin is master and then people still aren't happy, we need to find things to make us happy. So, do you have a book list that you're looking forward to checking off this year? A book list? Not really. No one's tickled my fancy for an upcoming book just yet. I do have a book list on Audible that I do need to tackle, and I did get a book not too long ago, and it's Matthew McConaughey's book, Greenlight. I've been trying to read that for the longest time. I do have a few books on that list that I do need to tackle. I tackled a lot last year, surprisingly, but I never really have a list. I'm like, when I grab it, I'll do it. If I don't, I don't. Really, but yeah. If you died and came back as an animal, which animal do you think would fit you best? If not a wild horse that was in like the Montana area that get to roam free forever, I would love to come back as that, or a beautiful wild bottlenose dolphin. Someone told me that bottlenose dolphins are actually not as friendly as you think. Just because you watch Flipper don't mean they're as friendly as you think. This person worked at SeaWorld. She didn't have a good experience. Bless her heart. There are two things about you that keep me inspired. your positive attitude, and your love of music. Thank you. Who influenced you the most in either of those areas? Okay, so positive attitude, I think you just learn as you go. I feel like I've been around a lot of positive people, but I also have been around a lot of negative people. Um, I think most of the time my mother was very positive. Um, I know I grew up around a lot of realists. I can say that too. But I feel like my mother is a big optimist. Um, she's a realist, but I think she's also a big optimist, especially, if you're a Christian, you can't just be a realist. You have to be more. And I'm a Christian, so um you have to be positive. The Bible tells us to not worry, and I have to keep reminding myself to not worry, even if I have to sing, "Don't worry, be happy." You know, and then music. Oh, I could talk to you guys about music all night, but I can't do that. I love music though. My inspiration for music? I would say all of the queens. All of the queens. So that goes for Auntie Aretha Franklin, Auntie Patti LaBelle, Auntie Gladys Knight, Sister Whitney Houston, Sister Mariah Carey, Auntie Dolly Parton, Cousin Alicia Keys, Cousin Mary J. Blige, Cousin Janet Jackson, all of them. Just, I love all the queens. And I mean, I love MJ. I love MJ so much. I know you guys love Elvis, but he's a different type of inspiration. But like, yeah, definitely. If you could relive any moment in your life, which would it be and why? I've had a segment about this before. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen it, but I call it "If I Knew Then What I Know Now." And honestly, if I could go back to grade school, and if I knew then what I know now, especially knowing I wasn't worthy of Christian character, that's something I had to work for. The only time I got Christian character was when, God bless Miss Dove, she said she got the class to pick the Christian character, which I was so used to not getting Christian character even when I thought I had it. So if you guys don't know what Christian character is, it's kind of like having the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, fullness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Now, I can honestly say self-control for a child who has ADHD, you have to learn it. It's being quiet, sitting still, not saying your opinion, those things you have to learn. But my teacher, she was like, she told us to vote. I didn't even vote for myself. I voted for someone else who I thought was just one of the sweetest people ever. But he voted for me. So, I mean, it's nice to know. Because, for 5 years when you think you have Christian character, but then they give it to the other person who you sadly feel like doesn't have it because they bully you, but it's like the teachers don't see it, or I'm like, did y'all miss it, or did y'all just see that? I don't know, but I definitely would go back for that. I definitely would go back to the time Ms. Johnson thought I hit Daniel on purpose, when in fact I didn't, when I actually know now. I definitely would have slammed the door at Yua's face for saying he would rip my paper up into itsy pieces. And definitely there's a lot of parts of childhood I would like to go back to, but here we are. I know now. So, moreover, do you want to visit outside of the country? Yes, I want to make visits outside of the country. Who doesn't? Who wants to just stay in one spot? Like, we have to live life to the fullest. We can't just stay in one spot. We have to broaden our horizons and see these different cultures and like people and things and learn new things and places. But yeah, I definitely want to go to Italy. I have a little adopted sister in Italy, and I definitely would love to meet her, and I love to see her little. I think she even calls it. They have states, just like the United States, her state. But I definitely want to go to Verona, Italy. I wouldn't mind going to London. I definitely wouldn't mind going to Ireland. There are a lot of places outside the country. I want to go to Australia. I'm a little scared of Australia. Not the kangaroos, but I hear their snakes are bigger, and I don't do snakes. Oh, I love this one. What is one of your favorite, not well-known facts about Elvis? This person knows I love Elvis. Thank you, Bales. Bales, you asked. I know it was you. Back in 1960, when he came home from Germany, we dated for like a year. And yes, he was still with Anita at the time. I appreciate Anita, but there were nights I needed him, and he was there for me. And we kind of got married, but we kind of got divorced. We planned on meeting each other back in like 20 years. We were going to get reincarnated. I don't know what my well-known fact is about EB. I have no idea. I think it's that he had healing properties. He could heal people. If you read books, you'll know that he could heal people. Jerry Schilling wrote in his book, Me and a Guy Named Elvis, he had a really, really bad back problem to where he was laying down and he was missing in action for the whole day. And Elvis went to his room and he was like, Jerry, what's going on? He said, my back is killing me. He's like, where? And then he showed him where, and then it's like he touched that spot of his back. And then Jerry said the pain just went away. Priscilla even wrote in her book, Elvis and Me, she had really, really, really bad migraines, and she would be in the bedroom for a big part of the day, and then he would be like, oh, your head hurts? And he would put his hands on her temples, and the pain would go away. One of the sweet inspirations, Myrna, she said that one of the girls, I'm not sure if it was Sylvia or Estelle, but they had cancer and she was dying. They said it was terminal and they were crying, and Elvis used to always tell them good night before he went to bed or party if they weren't singing all night, because they used to sing late at night. And he found them crying and he was like, what's going on? They explained to him that if it was Estelle or Sylvia who had cancer, I'm not sure which one. And then he said he grabbed their hands and he prayed with them. And then he touched where her cancer was. Now remember, guys, this was terminal. She was not supposed to survive this. But when she went back to the doctor the next day, the cancer was gone. That's, what a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. I love that thought. Anyway, what could you lose that would change your life for the better? 20 more pounds? That's a thought. I'll say, what else could I lose? What could I lose that would change my life for the better other than 20 more pounds? I can't think of anything else. I might have a thought, but I won't share it. I see better things coming on the horizon, and it's bringing me so much joy. It's a little scary, but there are things I've wanted, so Happy New Year. If you could ask Elvis one question and he answered honestly, what would the question be? Marry me. I don't know. I have no idea. What, like, because it's like one question. I only get one question. I wouldn't know what to ask him. I'm scared I'd faint if I actually saw Elvis. Oh my gosh. I think I'd faint. I'd hope I was strong enough and brave enough to actually talk to him, because people say that he had this allure and this presence and this aura, and it would make, he would walk in the room, not even like announcing like, hey, I'm here. He would just walk in the room and people would be like, they would feel him walk in the room. That's again, what a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. I have no idea, but other than marry me, can we hang out for a day? Can we sing for a day? Maybe. If you could witness one past historical event, which would it be? There's a lot of things in history I would not want to see, or I really wouldn't want to be there, and I still be me. So I wouldn't want to see anything scary. I definitely, 9/11 is off the books. I don't know. Historical. Like, maybe the Berlin Wall coming down would be cool. Maybe an inaugurational ball. I have no idea. I feel like there's so many things. Even I guess my personal history could be cool, but I have no idea. Like, that's a great question, but I wouldn't know. Like, history's so broad, so many things, so many people to meet, so many places to go. I wouldn't want to be around the civil rights because that's Jim Crow, and like, I just can't. So, but that's a thought. I like the thought though. Anywhere in history, seeing something get signed or seeing someone get saved. 2025 resolution. Guys, I don't make New Year's resolutions because they are like difficult to keep up with and hard to keep. I just always pray every day to just be the best that I can be. Always try to be kind. Let the Lord use me in the best way possible. Make good choices. Be careful who I go to, and do not say too much things to the wrong people. Like the even good news. Like, stop telling devils your good news. So yeah. How you learn how to sing? Was it a gift from birth, or was it something that you learned? How did I learn how to sing? I like this. I think my singing is God-given. That is a fact. My grandma pushed me in the church choir when I was like 3 or 4. I remember asking, like, sitting there listening to her and the choir do their song, and I'm like, I wanted the mic, okay? I deserve to have the mic. I sung Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I feel as if my grandma definitely just pushed me in the choir, because like the choir is like its own thing, and I actually did enjoy being in the choir. Then as I got older, I kind of started rebelling, and I was like, I think I want to play the drums. I don't think I want to sing. Yeah, just my little way of rebelling. But yeah, who's your inspiration? If you're talking about for music, like I said earlier, all the queens. If you're talking about inspiration just to be able to like get up in the morning, I think me. Sometimes you got to be your own biggest fan, right? What motivates you to get up in the morning? Me. God is definitely a push. Because there are sometimes life is hard, but we can't cry over it. We can't wallow in it. We have to get up and we have to go. So I definitely get up and go. I don't like being lazy. I like having lazy days because I go all the time. And sometimes it's just like I need a break. Excuse me. It's like I wake up in the morning at 7. I get dressed. I always try to keep God first. So I read my Bible. I read my daily devotion. One of my friends gave me a book because we did a Bible challenge, and I try to do that. I am not doing that daily, but I do it a few times. I have done it a few times since the new year started. I pray while I go to work or before I go to work. I definitely pray before I move my truck. I told you guys I've had truck issues, so I have to be careful with my truck, and I go to work. I am a receptionist at a doctor's office, so I always try to keep it light and great. I always try to be like the best thing the patients see before they see the doctor, because as my boss has said, I start the mood for each patient that comes in the office. I always try to smile. I always try to be friendly. And I know a lot of the patients, because I've been there so long, if they come in and I don't I know their names. I'll be like, oh, hi, Mr. Johnson, or hi, Mrs. Johnson. How are y'all? How are your holidays? I always try to do that. And then I have to come home and I have to do other stuff. And I have a little brother who needs to be picked up at night. So I always try to be the best that I can be and take it lightheartedly, for sure. Sometimes it's hard, but guys, we have to learn to keep going. Like, take the Lord with you everywhere you go, No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I am more than a conqueror. Can I get a witness? Okay. Who is your favorite artist? Okay, a lot of people will be shocked to hear this because I do love Elvis, but MJ is my favorite artist. And it's also hard being a music addict saying just one artist when I love hundreds and hundreds of artists. I have over 500 artists on my MP3 player, I'm sure. And it's like I'll find another one I love. Like I was like, oh my gosh, the voice or how they wrote that song is incredible. So yes, I do love Michael Jackson. He is definitely at the top of my list. I do love Elvis Presley, not just for singing, but it's a little bit more in depth. I love Guns N' Roses and I love Whitney Houston. As I said, I love all these queens earlier. I do love country music and I love a lot of country singers. Other than Dolly Parton, I am a big Tim McGraw fan. I love Rascal Flatts. I would love to see them in concert. I love Chris Stapleton, and like the list goes on and on and on. I could go on forever with all these amazing artists who, wow, they're just, it's inspiring. It makes you want to get up and dance or smile. Like, yeah. So sure. I know who asked me this one. Who's better, Superman or Batman? I say Batman. Fight me, but I truly believe Batman is a little better than Superman. I love the Man of Steel. There's not really any superheroes I hate, but if you put Superman under the ground away from the sunlight and you put him in a room of kryptonite, he dies. Or if you have kryptonite and you punch him, you knock him out. If you do it enough times, sadly, you can kill him. But I mean, if Batman's not careful, you can kill him too, but Batman kicks more butt. What is something that makes you feel unstoppable? I don't know. That's such an interesting question. Unstoppable. How you like me now? I have no idea. Like, I don't think anything makes me feel unstoppable. Because there are times when I'll be like, okay, I'm done. I want to go to sleep. As I told you guys, I have long days. So, I don't know what makes me feel unstoppable. It's not a terrible, this is a great question, but sometimes I just, pure energy. I want to be able to keep going and be happy. So I'll say pure energy is the answer to that one. How did your love for Elvis begin? This is embarrassing. Because I want to say Elvis 2022 starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks, as I told you guys before. Because it gave a little bit more details into Elvis's life to where I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that. And me falling in love with him then, although I've been a fan forever, literally on 4 movies before seeing that of his, and I had several songs of his, or at least 5 good songs of his, before I watched Elvis 2022, but I want to say it really began that June in 2022, and what has been the most rewarding part of doing photography? I love seeing people smile. I love being able to capture moments on camera for people. And when I do a good job, I love how everybody reacts to me. What's your favorite Elvis song? Ooh. We can't go on together with suspicious minds. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a... That's alright, mama. That's alright with you. Ha! Actually, my favorite song by Elvis is kind of hard when you love all these songs and he has all these little cute, amazing, great hits from literally 1955 to 1977. But my favorite song is from the King Creole soundtrack. It's the first song he sings because I just think it's so funky with him and Kitty White. Crawfish. It's my favorite song with Elvis. I love of his in his whole thing. There's so many songs. I do love Unchained Melody. I do love Hound Dog. I do love Santa Claus is Back in Town. You know, Christmas just ended. Blue Christmas, the way he sings it is beautiful. Memories is beautiful. I do love, what's that song that he did at the end of the 68 comeback special? We're lost in a cloud with too much rain, trapped in a world. I love that song. I can't name it right now, but I love that song. He has so many songs, but Crawfish, It's just so funky. I love it. I love that song so much. And I do love the song King Creole and Stuck on You. This list can go on and on and on. It's just so fun. And then last but not least, what's your favorite book? My favorite book actually is The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. The reason that's my favorite book is because it was one of the first books. I was in 6th grade when I read that book, and it was one of the first books I felt like I could not put down. Like, I forsaked the television for this book. If you can forsake the television, and I didn't have a cell phone back then. Cell phones are not like, they weren't big back when I was in 6th grade. The way they are huge now, I could literally forsake my cell phone for that book. If I could forsake social media, television for a book, you know you have a good book. And I loved The Three Musketeers. It was the fastest I think I ever read a book. It was in the total of 3 days, if that, like 2.5. And I cried reading the book. It was heartwarming. I love action, and I got to read the action of the book and the plots and twists and the murder and the love, and it was such a good book. I love Three Musketeers. But if you ask me who my favorite author is, it's S.E. Hinton, who did The Outsiders and Rumblefish and Tags. That was Then This Is Now, my favorite author. But my favorite book, The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. Guys, thank you for this Q&A. I had so much fun. I will do one of these again. If people are willing to ask me questions, I am definitely willing to answer. You guys have a blessed night. It's Sunday. Oh, wow. Work tomorrow. Another week. Y'all say a prayer for me because my family and we are going through some stressful times right now. I am making it the best way I can, holding it together the best I can. But you guys be blessed, and thank y'all for coming, and just stay tuned and see another episode of Sips and Chill, Sips and Chill, Sips and Chill, Sips and Chill with RJ. Sips and Chill, bye!
Sips and chill, sips and chill, sips and chill, sips and chill with